Hello, my friends. Welcome, welcome. We have new kits to reveal, but also, I will say, for the first time in a long while, I am actually free because I have a holiday today. A happy Veterans Day to all of you, by the way, if you celebrate it. With that, though, we have finally the long-awaited Dulcinea ID, and I'm so happy that I was not coping. And the ID actually does go to Rodion. That just... It's so perfect. Rodion needed a, like... This is gonna be hard to say. She needed a good ID, you know? Like, she has a lot of... Yeah, she has a couple good 000 IDs, but like... I don't know, man. She's been having it rough lately, so she really needed a good ID, because I don't see Rodion anywhere unless you're using, like, Dicey Rodion for, her, whichever ego it is, which is really good. Rhymefrost? Yeah, I think it's Rhymefrost. You use that ego, and that's, like, all you're using Rodion for as a character, is just for that ego. So, I'm happy to see her finally get another good ID. And also, keep in mind, she also has the Sanguine Axe, whatever it's called, ego, which is like one of, if not the best bleed ego in the game. So if she had, well, at least until Miracala came out, but, you know, she deserved to have a really good bleed ID. And she's going to be insane with that on this Blood Fiend team. But I've been rambling long enough. Let's get into the kit. So, we have a Pride, a Envy, and a Lust. And another Lust. Oh, looks like we have a double there. Very nice. We've got 3 Pierce skills. Interesting. All of them. So the first coin, or the first skill, we have 2 coins. Begone. Combat start. On self and 1 ally with the highest max HP, consume up to X Blood Feast and apply Y Blooming Thorn. For every Z Blood Feast, prioritizes Blood Fiend allies. If the affected ally is a Blood Fiend, this unit gains additional Blooming Thorn. If this unit failed to consume Blood Feast, gain Bleed. On use, gain coin power for every X bleed on target. And look at that, on the second hit, we're inflicting Bleed and Rupture. So this is a Bleed and Rupture ID. Looks like the Blood Fiends are now starting to lean heavily into that Bleed and Rupture synergy. Very cool. And also, she kind of works like Dulcinea did during the Kanto, where she's buffing her allies, but you don't actually need to target them, which is also really great. I guess we'll find out how good Blooming Thorn is soon enough. But now we have the skill 2 in Finely Ground Mistfall. Combat start. On self and ally with least max HP, apply attack power up. Consume up to X Blood Feast and apply Y Blooming Thorn for every Z Blood Feast consumed. Once again, prioritizes Blood Fiend allies, and the unit gains additional attack power up and Blooming Thorn if they are an ally. But if they do not, then she gains Bleed. Oh, she didn't consume any Blood Feast, she gains Bleed. But yes. We're also gaining coin power for every X bleed on target. And on the first hit, we're inflicting Rupture and Bleed Count. Bleed Count, very nice. And then on the third hit, we're inflicting Rupture and Bleed. Yes, she's applying Count, that is perfect. You'd love to see it. The team desperately needed some Count, so that's great. I'm not sure if it'll be enough, but we'll see. Because it looks like, I'm glancing, yes, her skill 2 and her skill 3 applies Rupture, Count, and Bleed Count. But I think we're still going to need some more, and I think that's where Dawn is going to fill in. But, like I said, we'll see soon enough, whenever that comes out. For the skill 3, though, the festival will end. For use at X plus Blooming Thorn, activate Ascendant Don Quixote Hardblood Arts, the Finale. Love that name. Instead. On use, if the target has X plus Bleed, gain coin power. On use to self in the highest resonance, allies. Apply X plus Y for every Z Blood Feast consumed. Festival Fever. This turn and next turn, another buff. And on use to self and highest resonance allies, apply Blooming Thorn. Wow, very good. With how these IDs are going, I think you could get both Lust resonance and Pride resonance pretty easily. I think you're gonna lean way more Lust, of course, but man, that's really good. Another just wide team buff for a character. I mean, that's really solid. And then, of course, to self and Highness Resonance allies apply Blooming Thorn. On the first hit, we're inflicting Rupture count and Bleed count. On the second hit, we're inflicting both potency, and on the third hit, we're also inflicting both as potency. I'm sorry, I'm very tired. It's like 7 in the morning. Okay, but as you saw, if at X plus Blooming Thorn, you get Ascendant Don Quixote Hardblood Arts The Finale. On use, the target has X plus Bleed, gain coin power. On self and Highness Resist allies, apply the Festive Fever. Yep. On use, we're also applying that Blooming Thorn with the highest Resonance allies. And deal more damage for every X Blood Feast consumed by this unit. After attack, consume all Blooming Thorn on self. And it's the same as before, inflicting Rupture count and Bleed, and then inflicting potency for the both on the second and third hit. Very nice. But we also have a defense skill, which is a counter. No, it is not. I mistake. It is a Clashable Guard. Even better. We have another Clashable Guard in there. Very nice. I think the recent IDs have shown us just how powerful Clashable Guard is and how great it is. I think it is now equal to, or maybe even a little bit stronger than Evade, which is kind of crazy because Evade is nuts. But let's see what it does. On use, reduce bleed count by X for 2 other allies with the highest bleed potency times count value, and increase Blood Feast by pre-reduction Blood Feast potency times count reduced. If this effect reduces bleed count to 0, bleed expires. If the affected ally is a Blood Fiend, to reduce their bleed count further, Clash Win, gain Blooming Thorn. So, you have a actual cleanser on the team. Not just cleansing themselves with their defense skills, but Rodion can cleanse their bleed. Very nice. That might be very important for this team. They have a lot of ways that potency can kind of stack up on themselves and makes it a problem. I mean, if you've not seen, there are clips of Gregor like killing himself because of the amount of bleed that he puts out on himself on his own turn. Though, of course, you get the one, like, Savior proc, where you get to, come back from 1 HP, but Gregor is very, very likely to bleed himself to death, so being able to cleanse that in some way, shape, or form, or reduce it at a minimum, very nice. Moving on, we have our passive, Blood Feast. You know what it is. I know what it is. It's all the Blood Fiends, Blood Feast passive. But we also have a new passive, Hard Blood Thorn. When another ally takes bleed damage or consumes Blood Feast, the unit gains Blooming Thorn. Heal HP on self by X% of the damage dealt with base skills. At max HP, heal one ally with the lowest HP percentage by excess healing. That is so good. She is actually a full-on support unit. She's giving out buffs, she's cleansing debuffs, and she's even healing if she hasn't gotten hit too much herself. That's so nice. We also have the support passive, Blossom with Blood. To one ally with the highest bleed potency at turn end, reduce the ally's bleed potency by X max and apply bleed potency reduced times Y Blooming Thorn. So if you're having a lot of problem with bleed, or maybe you're running a comp without Rodion, that'll be quite good. But let's go ahead and get down to it. What is this Blooming Thorn and why do we want it so badly? Gain defense level up for every X stack. Oh, that's already a lot. I see. It's not to increase damage output. It's to make them really tanky. Very cool. When hit, inflict bleed against the attacker in loose stack. The Princess of Manchaland Rodion only. So those two are just what all of them get. That's really good. lets you survive against like big hits, especially when you're going to be doing content like near dungeon or railway, and then you're inflicting bleed on anyone who can hit you by rolling crazy, or you roll that 5% chance on tails. But what she gets, at max stacks, convert to the next stage of this effect. Inflict plus stage -1 more bleed and rupture potency with this unit's base attack skill coin effects. Reverse the previous stage when the stacks drop below the requirements. Wow. So she does have a way to scale the amounts of potency that she's putting out. So that's also really good. More rupture and more bleed is very great to have. And especially if she's going to be putting out all this damage from just all of the passive damage going on. I think she's going to be healing it up too. I mean, it's pretty baller. And then Festive Fever, the other buff. Expires at turn end. Against targets with bleed, deal more damage for every stack. Skills that consume or gain blood feast deal more damage for every stack instead. Okay. So hear me out. Rodion now has like three buffs going on, and one of them increases the damage of your nuke skills, because the nuke skills are usually the ones that consume blood feast. Rodion giving out Festive Fever is going to make all of your guys hit so much harder depending on how that scales. And she's also making them crazy tanky by giving them a bunch of defense up stacking, remember? My god, Rodion is actually cracked. I think this is probably our first fully supportive ID since, like, Incorp Faust? Or, I guess, Ryoshu? Ryoshu has supportive stuff. Red Eyes Ryoshu. There's Incorp Faust. And then, I'm sure there are others, but I'm having a hard, like, we get so few of them. We get so few support IDs that it's, like, pretty rare. So, I mean, I'm super excited for her. I cannot wait to get her. I love the design. Rodion deserves it. It fits very well, and like, I think this team is gonna be correct. But that's not all we have. We have Fell Bullet Yuseng. I have to say, aesthetically, Fell Bullet may be my contender for like the best looking. I love the cloak. I love the military fatigues and the aesthetic. The broken glass with the red crosshair goes so hard. And then just the single rifle without even a scope. Like, that is so cool to me. Everything with the whole World War I aesthetic is so cool. God, Fell Bullet's so sick. Alright. It's a he. Ego. Ego Awakening skill. We saw this from the trailer. You're gonna target the ally with the least HP. Shooting our friends, guys. We're shooting our friends. Target the ally with the least HP. Before attack, gain highest resonance plus X torn memory. If the said resonance was a pride resonance, gain highest resonance times X torn memory instead. Before attack, gain poise for every X torn memory. After the attack, lose torn memory. This coin deals damage only against the main target. If the main target is an ally, deal plus X% more damage to them for every torn memory. On ally kill. That's hilarious. On ally kill, apply poise to self and to allies. On ally kill, gain ego resource for the killed ally's skill 1 and 2 affinities. On kill ally, fail, gain poise. This coin deals damage only against the sub-targets. If the first coin failed to kill the ally, one sub-target takes damage plus X% damage on critical hit for every X torn memory, and on crits inflict bleed. My god, that is hilarious. Also pointing out this is a 2-coin ego. Should have mentioned that. And then on the Eco Corrosion skill, once more targets the ally with the least HP. We're gaining resonance plus X torn memory, and if it's pride, we're getting more torn memory. We're dealing more damage. We're gaining poise for torn memory, and then after the attack, we're losing torn memory. for dealing more damage of the main target as an ally for every X toward memory and for every poise on self, plus X% damage on critical hit. On ally kill, applying poise to self and 3 allies. And the next coin deals more damage for every X toward memory. Gain the ego resource for skills 1, 2, and 3. And then if you fail to kill them, they get poise. Or you get poise. And on that second coin, this coin deals damage only against the sub-targets if the coin failed to kill the ally. If the random one sub-target takes damage, plus X% damage on critical hit for every torn memory, and inflicting bleed on the crit. And ego passive next. After attack, if the target is killed, gain poise count. Okay. Now, this might sound really bad. You might be saying, why would I kill my allies? Even if it's poise, like, you know, that's really good and all, but why would I kill my allies? That's terrible. When is there a good time when I would want to kill my allies? And I say to you, dear viewer, Blade Lineage Otis. She's basically non-existent anyway on that team. I only use her to take clashes and to take stuff I don't want my other characters to get hit by. On your final boss of your mirror dungeon floor, frickin' hit her. Hit her with the corrosion even. Hit her really hard. Just demolish and explode Blade Lineage Otis. And watches your entire team gets buffed up to the max with poise on turn 1 or turn 2 or however many it takes. That's how you do it. And I think that is awesome. Again, we're gonna have to wait and see like how things scale, but I think it's a really fun idea. It's really cool, and I think just having an excuse to kill one of your own allies that underperforms to give your team a whole big buff is really cool and fun. So I can't wait to try it out in Mirror Dungeon. But with that brings us to the end of today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. It was so nice to have a kit reveal on time for the first time in a while, despite my apparent tiredness. Thank you all so much for watching. Always appreciate your loving support, and I am very much anticipating Don Quixote's kit whenever it decides to come. And I, of course, will cover it, don't worry. But till then, hope you have a great day. Enjoy your holiday if you celebrate. And I will see you all in the next episode. Bye-bye!